Hey guys, and welcome back to BeardYGO. So we finally did it. We finally reached 500 subscribers, and I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you for supporting me thus far. And so for this video, I've got a little deck profile and combo for you for a deck that I took to locals this weekend. We had a Pegasus challenge, and that was really awesome. So it was always fun to play a deck that you get hit with all these different rules as Pegasus calls a rule. It has to apply all that type of stuff. So I tried to build a deck that could at least be able to keep going if something was called that would probably devastate my board or my plays or something like that. So yeah, the deck I'm talking about is Naturia Punk. So Punk Naturia with a little bit of a Vernisylph engine to it. And I was quite surprised at how well the deck did. It was like 4 rounds, and then I won 3 of those rounds. Um, and one, yeah, I lost one round, but one of the 3 rounds I won was because we had to swap decks for a complete match, and my opponent didn't know how to play my deck, and so yeah, it was really cool. So guys, thanks once again, and if you are not subscribed yet, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. There will be a giveaway for this 500 sub special as well, and you guys can see that in the video as well. So yeah, let's get into the deck profile. Alright guys, so here we are, and we will be showcasing the deck profile for my Naturia Vernisylph Punk deck. So I'm not going to waste any more time. We are just going to get straight into the deck profile so that I can show you guys the combos and at least keep this video a little bit shorter. No, my last video was quite long. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Okay, so for the main deck, Punk monsters, we are running 3 copies of Xiaomin, 1 Shirakusai, 1 Wagon, and 1 Madame Spider. Then we are also running 1 Deer Note, 2 Foxy Tune, as well as 2 Ogre Dance. So that's my Punk Monster lineup. So let's get into our Naturia lineup. Right, for the Naturias, we are running 3 copies of Mole Cricket, 2 copies of Camellia, 1 copy of Sunflower, and 1 copy of Naturia Bamboo Shoot. Right, for our Vernisylph lineup, we are running 3 copies of the Misting Seedlings, 2 copies of the Flourishing Hills, 2 copies of Awakening Forests, 1 copy of Thawing Mountains, and 1 copy of Flowering Fields. Okay, so for the rest of our monsters, I decided to run 1 copy of Caldo and 1 copy of Medora. These are also just to recycle a couple of stuff that I might need if there does come a grind game, and these get dumped off of the Awakening Forest, but also they can add as an extra layer of interruption, so that was quite nice. And then rounding off the monsters, we are running our 3 copies of Ash Blossom and the 1 copy of Ghost Ogre. So let's get onto the spells and the traps, and then we can do some combos. Right, for our spell lineup, we are running 3 copies of Emergency Teleport for our Punk engine, 3 copies of Naturia Blessing for our Naturia engine. Then we are also running 3 copies of Triple Tactics Talent, which is also just there to make sure we either dig deeper or we can disrupt our opponent as well. And then for our Punk stuff, we got the 1 copy of the field spell and 1 for our essentially fourth copy of the NATURIA Mole Cricket. And lastly, for the traps, we have got 3 copies of NATURIA Sacred Tree, 2 copies of Imperm, and the 1 Dangerous Gabu. So let's get on to the extra deck. For the extra deck, we have got the 1 Rising Carp, 1 Jam Dragon Drive, and 2 copies of the Amazing Dragon. So that's our P.U.N.K lineup. Then for our Naturias, we're running 1 Beast and 1 Barkion. And then we are also running the Zolkin with a Crystal Wing. So that's part of one of our other plays. Then for a little bit of the rest of the stuff, which is a little wonky and a little bit of standard, we have got 1 copy of Herald of the Arclight, 1 Gaia Armor Dragon Shell, 1 Black Rose Dragon, 1 Diabolantis the Menacing Mantis, 1 Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend, 1 Baron, and 1 Psychic End Punisher. Let's get on to our side. So for the side deck, it is a little bit weird, you'll see, but that's because of the Pegasus format, and I'll explain as soon as I get to one of the cards. So we have got 3 copies of Lancia, 3 copies of Nib, and 1 copy of Pancratops. Then we also have 1 Feather Duster and 1 Twin Twisters. Twin Twisters works really well by discarding like a NATURIA Sacred Tree. That way we get a search as well instead of just losing on card economy. And then for our traps, we are running 3 copies of Evenly Matched, and then the wonky one, 3 copies of Traptrix Holtea. So the reason for the Holtea is because I knew that there would be like a rule which is quite a common thing whenever we have Pegasus challenges. Then you have a certain rule where for an entire duel you're not allowed to run spells, and then the next duel not allowed to run traps, and then the next duel not allowed to run monster effects. So essentially Holtea was literally just there to side it in as a 2400 defender when we can't use monster effects. So that was just like an extra beefy body to keep myself going. I didn't get to use it or to see it. It wasn't really necessary, but it was a cool little idea. So yeah, that is it for the deck profile. And let me tell you guys a little bit about the giveaway, and then we can get onto the combos. Okay, so for one of you lucky subscribers, you guys will be able to win the little Fallen of Albaz package. So file, deck box, and playmat. All you have to do is comment down below in the comment section. Make sure that you are subscribed as well. Drop a like on the video and comment what would you like to have played if you did play Pegasus Challenge, or if you did play it, what was your favorite moment about the tournament if you were there when I was. So yeah, and then obviously when you do comment, just make sure that you put hashtag giveaway in the comment as well. So yeah, that is about it. So let's get straight into our combos. Alright guys, so here we have got Emergency Teleport, and I'll be showcasing what one card can basically do for you. And this is not going to be specifically just to the P.U.N.K lineup, but it'll be to ensure that you can also have a little bit of a NATURIA lineup as well. So we're starting off with activating E-Tally, and we will bring out the Xiaomen. So we've got Xiaomen over there. Then we'll pay the 600 and we'll get ourselves the Shirakusai. Well, normal Shirakusai, we'll pay the 600 for that to fusion summon into our Rising Carp. So then we can use the Rising Carp's effect and we can summon out our Deer Note as well as our Madame Spider. Then we'll use the Spider's effect to get us a copy of the Dangerous Gabu. We can then synchro the Deer Note and the Spider to go into our Diabolantis, the Menacing Mantis. From here, you can use Mantis's effect as chain 1. Chain 2 will be Deer Note, and the Deer Note can just summon you the Rising Carp. The Mantis will then dump a Mole Cricket to the grave. Then you can target the Mantis with its own effect, make itself a tuner. You can then synchro away these two for a copy of Tzolk'in. And then you can set your Dangerous Gabu, which will trigger Tzolk'in to bring out a Crystal Wing. So one card gets you Crystal Wing plus essentially an Imperm, as well as follow up with a Mole Cricket. So if the opponent summons from the extra deck, you can trigger Mole Cricket and start off some Naturia lines. So that is it for E-Tally. Let's see what E-Tally as well as another card can do for you. Okay, so here we are with Emergency Teleport and Naturia Sacred Tree. So this is another line that you can go for just with these two cards. So we'll start off by activating your Emergency Teleport, which will give you your copy of Xiaomen. Then you'll pay your 600, you'll get a copy of Foxy Tune. You can then pitch the Foxy Tune along with the Sacred Tree to bring out your Shirakusai, and then your Sacred Tree will trigger to get you a copy of your Naturia Blessing. So at this point, you can then keep that blessing there, go into the fusion, the Rising Carp. So we got the Rising Carp. Rising Carp will then pitch itself again, just get you a Deer Note as well as a Spider. You can then pay your life for the Gabu, and again just go into your play of the Diabolantis, chain 1, chain 2, get your Rising Carp back, Diabolantis, dropping your Mole Cricket, then you make it a tuner, and you can now go into your Tzolk'in. From here, you can set your Gabu, and then special summon your Crystal Wing. Same play, right? However, now we've got a blessing. So we can now activate the blessing. We can bring out a Mole Cricket. Mole Cricket can then tribute itself to get you a copy of Camellia. Camellia can then dump a second Sacred Tree, and that Sacred Tree can get you your copy of Bamboo Shoot. Since we used E-Tally, we have not used the normal summon, so we can now tribute summon our Bamboo Shoot, and so your opponent has to deal with not being able to activate spells or and traps, and you got double monster negates. If they do summon from the extra deck, then you've still got the follow-up with your Mole Cricket. So that's another line of play, and then I've got the final line of play for you guys, which is a hand that my opponent actually opened against me when he was playing with my deck, and he didn't know how to utilize the deck, so I showed him how to make a board afterwards. So yeah, let's get into that. Right, so this is the hand that my opponent had. And as you can see, the feather dust is in hand, so this was post siding. And yeah, so this is basically what he could have done if he knew how to run the deck. So yeah, let's get straight into that. So right now, what you can do is you normal summon the Xiaoman. You can then use the effect to get yourself the Foxy Tune. Then you can pitch the Foxy Tune along with your Mole Cricket, and then bring out your Shirakusai. Then you can go for Shirakusai to fusion summon into your Rising Carp, and then Rising Carp will get you into your Deer Note along with your Wagon. You'll pay 600 for Wagon to get you your copy of your Extreme Session. You can at this point activate the Extreme Session. Then you can synchro summon the Deer Note along with the Wagon to go into your copy of Dragon Drive. Now you'll have your Chaining 1 Dragon Drive paying 600. You got your Chaining 2 Deer Note, which will bring back your Shirakusai. And then your Dragon Drive will get you a search, and that'll be for your Spider. At this point, you will draw a card, so we'll just put that as a random draw in hand. Okay. Then what you can do now is you can activate your Naturia Blessing. You can bring back your Cricket. Cricket can then tribute itself to get you your copy of Camellia. Camellia will then dump you a Sacred Tree, and Sacred Tree will get you another Blessing. Then we can activate that Blessing. We can bring back the Mole Cricket, and we can go into your Naturia Beast. So now we've got spell negation. Then your Mole Cricket will summon itself back because you summoned Naturia Beast. From here, you can use the Extreme Session to then banish your Foxy Tune and then summon out your Spider. You can pay your 600 for the Spider to get you your copy of Gabu. Then you can draw that second card off of the Extreme Session. So that's our hand so far, 4-card hand still. And then we can use the Spider along with the Mole Cricket to then go into your Herald of the Arclight. So essentially what you have here is then a 4-card hand. You literally only used 3 of the cards in your hand. You plus 2 off the field spell. You've got spell negate, you've got an omni negate, you've got a monster negate, and you'll be able to use the Shirakusai in the opponent's turn to go into your Amazing Dragon. And your Amazing Dragon will be able to bounce 4 cards on the field because you have got 4 different Psychic level 3s in your grave. So it's a bounce 4 as well, plus then you'll get a draw as well off of the field spell when you do that play. So yeah, that is about it, guys. If you enjoyed this type of content, then please feel free to let me know. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. It'll, we're on the road to 1,000 subs now. We've just broken the 500 barrier, and so let's see if we can make 1,000 subs before the end of the year. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Cheers.